Because Meghan, like you said, she was going to interact with royalty.
Not tag as ever or Meghan Markle. This is my theory. Previous comments that they've made about, for example, the skin tone.
Once upon a time, Meghan Markle's name alone could command headlines across the globe. She had the royal platform, the worldwide influence, and the kind of visibility most celebrities would sell their souls for. But fast forward to now, and the picture couldn't be more different. Instead of shaping culture or standing shoulder to shoulder with world leaders, Meghan is celebrating something far less glamorous. A blurry Instagram story from Khloe Kardashian. No tag, no mention, no brand recognition. Just a nameless appearance in the background of an endless feed of influencer content. This isn't just a small stumble in a celebrity branding experiment. It's the story of how Meghan Markle's Hollywood dream is unraveling in real time. From Buckingham Palace to Beverly Hills gift baskets, her career trajectory is starting to look less like a rise and more like a desperate free fall. And this is how it all went wrong.
All the lies about the British royal family, all the racism claims, all the desperate desire to bring down the British monarchy was all for this? For this?
At one point, Meghan Markle stood as one of the most recognizable women on the planet. She wasn't just a celebrity, she was royalty. Cameras followed her every move. Newspapers chronicled her every expression, and her words carried international weight. She spoke about social justice, women's empowerment, and modernizing the monarchy. People expected her to build a legacy that would last for decades. Now, that same woman finds herself obsessing over Instagram stories. Instead of reshaping global institutions, she's refreshing her phone to see if a Kardashian might casually mention her brand. It's a shocking contrast, from the balcony of Buckingham Palace to the sidelines of Khloe Kardashian's Instagram. The mighty platform that could have been used for real change is now reduced to chasing clout in Hollywood. In a city built on perception, Meghan's obsession with influencer approval only exposes how far she's fallen.
Overnight, finally joined the Kardashian club. And I feel really sad about it. For all my girls, starting with Kay, she posted, and we know she's looked up to Khloe and Kim and Kourtney for some years.
When Meghan launched her lifestyle brand as Ever, it seemed like the perfect Hollywood pivot. The branding was sleek, the packaging expensive, and the name carried an air of timeless elegance. On paper, it checked all the boxes: limited drops, premium pricing, carefully curated aesthetics. She leaned heavily into scarcity marketing, creating urgency with get it before it's gone messaging. The first drop sold well. Curiosity drove sales, and fans wanted to see what Meghan's new chapter looked like. But the novelty quickly wore off. Instead of building long-term loyalty, Meghan overestimated her momentum. She tripled her inventory for the second release, expecting the same demand. It didn't happen. Half the products went unsold, and the buzz collapsed. Without strong repeat customers or authentic endorsements, has Ever lost its shine. What was meant to be a new empire looked more like another celebrity vanity project sinking under its own hype.
Surprising, given those three actually work really hard, unlike her. But it's just quite pathetic, isn't it, that this is now the highlight of Meghan Markle's world. A woman who, quite literally...
Enter Meghan's next big strategy: the Kardashians. If there's one family in Hollywood that knows how to move products, it's them. Between Kim, Kylie, and Khloe, they've turned lip kits, shapewear, and even casual selfies into billion-dollar businesses. Meghan knew this. She also knew that one Kardashian tag could do more for her brand than 100 press releases. So she played the influencer game. She sent carefully crafted luxury baskets to the Kardashian-Jenner clan. Premium packaging, photogenic layouts, every detail designed to scream, "Post me on Instagram." It wasn't just generosity, it was marketing dressed up as friendship. Meghan wasn't just sending gifts, she was sending a pitch. The plan was simple: hook the Kardashians into posting her products and ride the wave of their billion-follower reach. But the gamble backfired in spectacular fashion. And instead of validation, Meghan got something far worse: silence.
The least known, the least popular, the nastiest of the Kardashian sisters decides to post a hamper of dodgy as-ever goodies.
These weren't cheap gift baskets. Meghan's team curated them to look like luxury personified. Premium ribbons, eco-chic packaging, hand-selected items designed to photograph beautifully. They weren't just gifts, they were calculated Instagram props. Every angle, every detail was engineered to increase the chances of an unboxing video or a glamorous story shoutout. But here's the problem. When gifts are so clearly meant to be photographed, they stop feeling generous and start looking desperate. The Kardashians receive hundreds of PR boxes daily. They don't need another scented candle, another bottle of wine, or another exclusive basket. What sets products apart isn't the ribbon, it's authenticity. And that's exactly what Meghan's baskets lacked. Instead of sparking excitement, they felt transactional. She wasn't building a friendship, she was chasing validation. And when validation doesn't come, the silence is deafening, especially in Hollywood.
Not tag as ever or Meghan Markle. This is my theory. Tonight, Kendall Jenner hosted Kylie's family party. Meghan sent all the Kardashians press boxes, hoping they would share it with them.
Finally, a flicker of hope appeared. Khloe Kardashian posted an Instagram story that featured some of Meghan's as ever products. But there was one massive problem. No tag. No mention of Meghan. No mention of her brand. Nothing. Just a fleeting glimpse of products in the background. In the influencer economy, a tag isn't just a courtesy, it's the entire point. A tag is currency. It's the digital handshake that validates a brand. Without it, the post is meaningless. To Khloe's millions of followers, Meghan's products were just random items, no different from the dozens of other freebies sitting in her house. Whether it was deliberate or accidental, the absence of a tag was brutal. It wasn't criticism. It wasn't even mockery. It was worse. Indifference. And in Hollywood, indifference is deadlier than hate. Meghan wasn't even worth the 2 seconds it takes to type at as ever official.
Happened. Someone from the family regifted the as ever crap. Khloe then took a pic of it. Meghan sees this hours later and jumps at the chance to be connected to a Kardashian. Here's the problem.
Here's where things get even more humiliating. Some celebrity watchers believe Khloe didn't even receive Meghan's basket firsthand. Instead, it might have been regifted. The Kardashians are flooded with PR packages daily, most of which never make it past their assistants. Often, those boxes get handed off to friends, staff, or family. The theory goes like this. Meghan's luxury basket lands at one Kardashian doorstep, gets opened, dismissed, and casually passed along. By the time it reached Khloe, it wasn't a symbol of exclusivity, it was an afterthought. And that's exactly how her Instagram story felt. No excitement, no personal touch, just another random product floating in a sea of disposable freebies.
Because Meghan, like you said, she was going to interact with royalty. Her and Harry probably would have taken over the role of Sophie and Edward, going to all the big events held in other countries, the weddings, the birthdays, where there's tiara events and everything.
For Meghan, this possibility stings more than a direct rejection. It suggests her power move wasn't even seen as valuable enough to keep. That's not influence. That's irrelevance wrapped in luxury packaging. One of Meghan's biggest miscalculations was assuming her title mattered in Hollywood. In the royal world, status is dictated by lineage, protocol, and titles. Duchess of Sussex carried weight. But in Los Angeles, nobody cares. Out here, influence isn't about crowns. It's about clout. Hollywood operates on hard numbers. Followers, engagement rates, viral reach, and the ability to dominate conversations without paying for coverage. Meghan's royal background might be a cute trivia point, but it doesn't translate into relevance where it matters most. Online metrics.
Meghan's really where she was always looking, which was not royalty, it was not being an actual influencer in the world. She really just wants to be a Kardashian.
The Kardashians, on the other hand, have mastered this system. They don't need titles. Their influence is built on relentless visibility, consistent branding, and nonstop hustle. For Meghan, sending a basket wasn't just a brand gamble. It was a reminder that her Duchess crown is useless in a world where social media reach is the only throne that matters. Another angle critics pounced on was the hypocrisy. Meghan once accused the British royal family of racism, one of the most explosive accusations of the decade. She positioned herself as a woman of principle, unafraid to call out powerful institutions. But now, she's courting the Kardashians, a family with its own long history of racially insensitive scandals and cultural appropriation controversies. It's a glaring contradiction. Meghan claimed she walked away from royalty because it didn't align with her values. Yet when Hollywood relevance is at stake, those values suddenly seem negotiable. Aligning with the Kardashians wasn't about principles. It was about clout. And that's where Meghan's critics feel vindicated. To them, this proves it was never about justice. or morality. It was always about positioning herself for Hollywood fame. And when your alliances look opportunistic, audiences notice they don't see strategy. They see hypocrisy.
She was going to achieve these great things. No. Meghan is always the one who has been shallow, vain, and vapid. And I think she proves that via this Instagram post.
Say what you want about the Kardashians, they work. Their empire didn't come from chance. From 6 a.m. photo shoots to late-night product meetings, they grind relentlessly. Every storyline, every collaboration, every leaked paparazzi shot is part of a carefully crafted empire. They don't just launch products, they live them. Meghan, by contrast, seems to chase shortcuts. Instead of building a steady drumbeat of engagement, she pops in and out of the spotlight with splashy launches. She relies on scarcity tactics and royal curiosity rather than the long-term grind of brand building. The result? The Kardashians built billion-dollar businesses. Meghan built a PR basket that barely made it into a story without a tag. In the influencer economy, the difference is obvious. One family plays the long game, the other looks like they're trying to cheat it. And shortcuts rarely pay off in Hollywood.
By Khloe posting this, probably by mistake, is going to take away from Kylie's party and all the stuff Kendall is currently trying to merch on her Instagram. She added, Meghan gives Khloe Kardashian an...
Perhaps the most devastating part of this saga is the symbolism. Meghan Markle once stood on the balcony of Buckingham Palace beside Queen Elizabeth II, a global figure with limitless potential. Now, her biggest win is celebrating a Kardashian Instagram story that didn't even acknowledge her. That's not influence. That's background noise. In Hollywood, scandal can be spun into opportunity. Criticism can still mean relevance. But silence? Silence is fatal. When the Kardashians chose not to tag Meghan, they weren't just ignoring her. They were sending a message. You don't matter enough to be part of this conversation. For Meghan, this wasn't a PR victory. It was a PR disaster dressed up in ribbons and glossy packaging. From global royalty to influencer afterthought, her trajectory is clear. Hollywood doesn't see her as a peer. They see her as someone desperately trying and failing to fit in.
Previous comments that they've made about, for example, the skin tone of their baby's skin. Now, I'm actually not calling the Kardashians out for that. I think they were having an honest conversation, but I think...
In the end, Meghan Markle's Kardashian gamble wasn't just a failed PR stunt. It was a moment that exposed the cracks in her Hollywood strategy. She had the global platform, the royal title, and the power to shape culture on a massive scale. But instead of building something lasting, she went chasing Instagram clout. And the Kardashians, masters of influence, didn't even blink. No tag, no recognition, just silence. For Meghan, that silence was louder than any insult. It showed that in Hollywood, you can't buy your way in with ribbons and wine bottles. You earn it through relentless hustle, consistent branding, and real influence. From palace prestige to Kardashian indifference, Meghan's story is a cautionary tale. Titles don't matter here. Clout does. And right now, Meghan isn't shaping the conversation. She's begging to be included in it. That's the ultimate fall from grace.